One of the reasons I like these Phantom Sealed so much better than the Leagues is it forces you to build a deck in 20 minutes, and then you have to play it round one every time, which is very close to what your experience would be in a PTQ, either in paper or online. But one thing you can do is go through and change your deck between rounds. So what we're going to do here is kind of start fresh and get a build that is blue and black and probably contains the Get Frog monster, but we'll consider that. So I want to look at what, I mean, it's gonna have the Get Frog, we know that, but I want to go ahead and get this built so we can have it saved and then load it up if we decide we want it. So it's probably playing these cards. Some matchups may or may not want the Scab, but we can make those changes if we want them. The Corpse Trawler is actually pretty good. The Sleep Paralysis is good. The Scab is good. The Lamplighter's okay. So this gives us 21 playables. I don't really love the Pale Rider, and I'm starting to think we may not want that. I don't mind one, though. And again, this guy's not great. That just may have to be something we have to accept that's going to be in here. So I'm playing Get Frog. Let's get real. That's happening. Is there anything I'm not playing that I should be? Like the True Faith Sensor still seems pretty good. The Skeleton Key seems reasonable-ish. Skeleton Key's kind of a madness enabler, and we've got some flyers. We've got some low-powered creatures to put it on. I don't hate running that. True Faith Sensor's probably better. If we're going to build this perfectly, it probably has some number of things with stuff. 18 lands. That's what I was trying to say. 18 lands. We could also consider Ghostly Wings as a pseudo-madness enabler. What are we enabling? Under the Floorboards, maybe? You lose a lot of your madness payoffs if you cut the red, but you probably still have to. I really just want like another dude in here. I could say Skeleton Key and then just run the Hunter and be okay with that. It's so much better than a Rotten Heart Ghoul. Think about that for a minute. These guys cost the same mana. With this one you get a 3/4 that turns into a 5/6. With this one you get a 2/4 that may enable something for your opponent. It's just so bad. And I think you still have to run... I put in the True Faith Sensor. Didn't I mean to put in the Skeleton Key? I think I did. It's rare. This is common. It's got to be better. I think you still have to run the thing. The 3 lands if we're going to pull this off. The 3 forests. That's what I'm talking about. So basic. So let's get 3 forests. It doesn't matter which ones, but sure, we'll use full art because they're cooler. That leaves me 14 lands. So I could do 7/7 and just accept that I have the Devil's Mana base. And that's just what's up. Isn't the Bowl Island preferred? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and swamps. If you need swamps. Ah, Moto exploded. Here's swamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we will save this as, how do we do that? Properties. Save it as blue, black, green. Sure, it doesn't really matter what box you use. And now when we're sideboarding, we can pull that back in and switch into that deck and then make changes to it from there, but it allows us to quickly pull up the blue-black deck if we decide that's what we want. Anyway, we'll have that in our arsenal if we need it for the next round, and I'll see you then. Alright, looks like we are back for the next round, and with our initial build, yeah, we want to play first. No, we've got the turn 2 Pale Rider. Cross your fingers. Sure. Let's do it. Feels really weird to discard that hulking devil, but that may be what we're doing. Like, we go down a card to have this dealt with forever. I think we may actually chunk the swamp. We've got more swamps in this build than anything else, and we do need the red for stuff and things. We have 2 double red cards. Yeah, I think we just do the thing. Let's do the thing. Oh god, I'm so nervous. This feels bad. I don't like it. Throbbing Inspector. I do feel pretty good with Geist Blast up. What do we have? The Falcon Wrath. So what happens if they flip and double block? I can Geist Blast the other one and get a 2-for-1. That's pretty sweet. So I'll act like I don't know that that's something they can do. Like, it's not quite a 2-for-1 because they get their clue back. We get really blown out if they have the +2/+2 spell. Like, I don't even know how to math that out. So we are exposing ourselves to some amount of risk here. The upside is if they don't have it, which they did, then we're just kind of getting run over by this rabble rouser. If we have to, we can trade the Hulking Devil for it. It was really sort of a 2-for-2, except we were already down a card on the Pale Rider. And they're already up half a card on the Thraben Inspector, so however you want to math it, that did not work out ideally for us. I think at this point we'd probably have to go ahead and trade off the Hulking Devil for the Rabble and not be thrilled about it. The other option is to take all this damage and try to race, because this is 4 turns and we win. The Heir of Falcon Wrath shortens that a good bit. I imagine they're doing Delirium shenanigans, have equipment shenanigans, etc. Well, they kind of just made that an easy choice for us. I was like agonizing about whether or not we take the damage, and now I just don't have to worry about it. That's clearly what we do. They would probably trade off that wolf. Am I in a position to attack? Like, trading this for the wolf is pretty good. Pretty good. I may be in a position to cast the Solitary Hunter and pass, though. Like, I'm clearly not the beatdown. Ideally, I'm not trading this for that. Problem is they hit 2 more land drops. That's scary. I think we've just got to resign ourselves to blocking for a bit. I'm being alright with that. I do think I liked the blue deck better. I walked into the trap I was discussing at the beginning of the video, which is looking for synergies that you're used to being really good in draft, and that they're just not here. I think we've just got to do this. Like, we can block here. It's +1/+1 for 2 mana, right? So 1, 2. It does eat his turn, but it leaves us with a worse board presence. Like, this guy's not handling that one. What other options do I have? Like I said, they go all in the pump, and we draw a Magmatic Chasm. We do get to hit him for 10, which is a lot of damage, but it doesn't win the game. I'm not too proud to reduce to ashes a Quilled Wolf, and I think the Solitary Hunter is going to have more of an impact on this game later. That is not a card I expected to see from them, and I'm happy that they cast it, because it currently doesn't do anything. If we can keep from casting this for a turn, the Murderous Compulsion, I would love to flip. So we need them to whiff on a land once. That would be so good. Just whiff one time, buddy. They're not. Well, they are going to whiff, but it's going to be okay. The downside is we're dealing with Autumnal Gloom now. And that we can kill if we flip our Solitary Hunter and block. I think we're going to have to use the Compulsion to get rid of the Topple-Geist. Like, we're going to have to kill this at some point. All they have to do is hit a land here, and they've got their shenanigans turned on. This is not typically good unless you have a synergy-based deck, but they've managed to put together a real problem for us. The fact that we can pass, hopefully they tap our air. There's no chance they tap our air, is there? They do. Okay, that was perfect. Because we've got the... I do want this mana, right? Yeah, we want to hit 6, and we don't have anything else to do. Because this lets us flip our Hunter, which still can't trade for that, but at least we can deal with this guy. And then if they attack with the Topple-Geist, we can kill that. We can burn this. We're starting to do a thing. We're starting to do a thing. It's not a lot of thing, but it's a thing. Just don't kill my guy. Okay, that's fine. You probably put it on the hexproof guy, I guess? No, the Topple-Geist. Good. I mean, not good, but good, right? Because now our kill condition is online. The problem is now we have to deal with them putting counters on the hexproof dude, and this is already a pain in the arse. And we've got to, like, pass a turn. Like, how are we dealing with a slowly growing Trampler when our removal is sorcery speed? The answer is we're probably not. So Tormenting Voice is interesting. I can double block those. What have we got to do to survive here? Like, the Skinner has to die. This gets too big soon for us to be able to do anything with. I guess we've got to assume that they've just got garbage in hand and it's not a land. We can take one hit from this pumping. Like, all of their cards are a problem. The most immediate problem right now is the Skinner. And there's the potential that we draw something like Twins of Mauer Estate and can combo that with Tormenting Voice to at least get another blocker down. But right now we're kind of resigned to wanting to double block that Ancient of the Equinox. When we're honestly, like, really interested in blocking with our Heir of the Night, things have gone poorly. All right, bad things are happening here. Let's not pretend that they're not. These are good attacks for our opponent, and we don't have a lot that we can do. Ideally, we were going to be able to double block this and live. That is not the case now. But if this isn't off the board, I don't see how we win this game. Like maybe we Tormenting Voice with Twins into Swamp and Thing. Is there anything that I can get back that matters? Well, the real question is there anything I can get back that I can cast? Like a Pale Rider, but that doesn't go far. It gets run over by the wolf. Because our other option is to Tormenting Voice away the Macabre Waltz and see if we draw a 3-drop that just wins the game, and I don't really see how that works. So we're probably waltzing back the Hunter and the Air, playing the Air, block here, make him pump that. And then take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just dead. Since I'm probably siding into the blue deck, I don't mind them knowing about the Macabre Waltz. I also don't want them to know that I just don't have an answer to anything in here. So let's just toss that. And then probably just call it game. Because like, again, I can play the Pale Rider, block that, and we're still lethal. Block this, we're still lethal. So we're pretty much done here. Our opponent's playing a high synergy deck, which is very difficult to get together in sealed, but sometimes it can happen. It's what I was talking about with the variants of these. I think I do want the blue. So we're going to load deck, load the blue one, and then see if there's anything here that's bad against him. I doubt we actually need the Skeleton Key, even though it is a neat Madness enabler. I don't think that's the droid we're looking for. I think what we might be interested in is, well, that kind of doesn't do what we want done, does it? We could consider Ghostly Wings. Again, it's a way to enable some Madness shenanigans. It's also a way for us to finish a game we've got no business winning, to like try to steal wins with a mentor. Like that builds us a 5-power flyer. It doesn't look like they had a really good way to answer flyers. I think I still like all of our shenanigans, although again our combos are getting less and less with the Call the Bloodline, but I think that's still worth playing when we've got zombies and this and that. Like we've got good reasons to keep doing what we're doing. So let's give this one a shot. We've got some clue synergy, like we've got Ernie and Jace's Scrutiny, right? That's a thing. It's not really a thing. I would like to play first. I want to try to get out ahead of them. This is a very different hand than our last one, but we'll keep it. Ernie does stop a lot of their early aggression, and the whole reason we're playing the green is so we can get Frog. I want to get Frog. One of the downsides about changing decks, if you're going to use alternate art lands, like I have, is that they will immediately know that you have switched up your game plan. That said, they won't know it until they've decided to keep their hand. So it doesn't matter a lot. Obviously, if you do this in paper, it's quite a different experience, but online, they have to make the decision not knowing that you've sided into something completely different. Alright, so Ernie can start getting us that value. And then we try to not die, resolve, get Frog, and hope we win. That seems like a solid plan. Now we know they have combat tricks. It's kind of a free attack for them, but it's kind of also not when I'm holding up this much mana. Like, they don't know what they're up against. The 1 point of damage doesn't super matter here. So I'm going to see if they chump attack me, I probably don't block, because we don't have anything else. Although, to be fair, what's Ernie doing if he's not blocking a 2-drop? Yeah, I might have a trick too. I think it's okay to call that that chump attack there. Mainly because reasons. If they're gonna kill our dude and then play another 2-drop, I think we're all right with that. I think I want to deadweight the Wicker Witch now. I understand that gets him a long way towards Delirium, but he's already illustrated that he either doesn't have a trick or doesn't want to use one on the Illuminator, and we can't block that currently. And that's kind of what deadweight is for, is to get rid of the stuff that you can't already deal with. This is already a removal spell for the Wolf. Like, until he gets to 6 mana, and by the time he gets to 6 mana, we'll have a Gitrog monster in play. So I think that means the Witch has got to go. Ernie's going to block another turn, and then we're going to see if he can deal with the Gitrog. Again, we're kind of all in on the Frog, so if he can deal with it, we probably lose. But if we can't, we're probably winning. All right, that's a problem. Jace's Scrutiny is a solution. May as well attack now. That's all Ernie's doing these days. I kind of don't want to block with Gitrog, especially when I've got Scrutiny in hand. Like, that just seems dumb. So I think if they bluff an attack here, I probably take it. Although what gets me? There's +2/+2. There's not a +3/+3. He'd have to have 2 tricks, and his guy still dies. And we could draw Macabre Waltz. There's a lot of reasons to just block that. The destroy target attacking or blocking creature is predicated by it has to have 3 power. So I don't think he can actually do anything. We don't need the other forest, so I can sack that. So we've got a couple options here. One is Ghostly Wings Send. What happens if I do that? I take 6, 7, 8, but I hit him for 6, 7, 8, 9. I can still play the Scab, and that means he's dead next turn unless he deals with my flyers. And he's stuck on 3 mana. Alright, so let's do this again. 7, 8 this turn. That puts him at 11. And he's got 8, 9, 10, 11 next turn. That puts him exactly dead. Alright, let's do the thing. I can't play the Scab and play this. Let's reevaluate how... Oh, I can play the land. There we go. You're learning how to magic, Travis. That's why we put the Ghostly Wings in there, was to steal wins. And it looks like we may be able to do that. I actually don't want to F6, because if they're gonna, like, destroy our frog, we may want to bounce it and go back on the defensive. We do have to kind of worry about a Silver Strike next turn, but like, we should see that coming from a mile away, right? You can just not attack, or attack with the other 2 flyers and hold back Froggy. Oh, an Apothecary Geist. Alright, alright. There you are. Yes. Alright, so I can cycle a land and draw 2 cards, which is neat. If one of them is a land, I can't really do much. Like, I kind of think I want my turn to involve A, playing this land, and B, using Jace's Scrutiny to kill that Apothecary Geist. I also want to not die. What helps me not die? Playing the Lamplighter helps me not die. If I attack with this, what happens? He probably takes it. I don't think you chump yet. Ernie's not blocking. If I attack with this, I can kind of get him into blocking. I just need to not die. And that's where the math really comes into play here. This is also not terrible on defense. Again, Ernie ain't doing nothing. But I need to be able to block 3 of his creatures. I think my best shot may be to send with the Scab, see if he blocks, use Jace's Scrutiny. If he doesn't, after combat, play the Lamplighter. We're kind of setting us up to, if he can kill the Git Frog, we just die. So what happens if I swing both? He doesn't have to block. So if he doesn't block, how terrible is it for me? We could play the Lamplighter, draw a card. If we hit a land, we still have... We draw 2 cards, and if we hit a land, we still have Scrutiny up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we don't. That's not how that worked. If I'm willing to... you know what? I think we start with the attack, because another play I've got is bounce this guy by discarding a land, which draws me a card, right? And then replay it and have him as Vigilance. And if we hit another land, I can still have the Scrutiny up. So I think we start by attacking with these 2, because that leads towards us winning the game. Yeah, I can even use Scrutiny. No, I can't use Scrutiny and bounce this guy. I'm just so scared he takes the damage and then kills me on the crackback. I think that's actually what happens here. So let's say I attack with both. He doesn't take the damage. Then am I locked into bouncing this guy and replaying it and losing the flying? Probably. And I won't be able to do anything else unless I hit a land. What advantage does that have over just replaying the Lamplighter, just playing the Lamplighter post-combat? Then I block here, I block there, I take 5, I'm dead to not much. Yeah, I think that means we swing and see if we can bait a block here. The thing that I missed in all of that discussion is that always watching gives +1/+1. So really that was a very elaborate bluff. And I was able to get in 3 damage I shouldn't have. For some reason, I thought we could Jace's Scrutiny and that it would kill this if he blocked here, but it didn't. So now we're sitting at block this, block that, take 5. And I think that's just what we're locked into. All right, I'll play that one. All right. So we've basically put ourselves in, if you've got the thing, you can kill us. But if you don't, we can kill you. Sort of. Not really. By him taking that 3, if we can keep Ernie alive, like I say, we block here and we block there. We take it, then we've actually got lethal in the air, because if he chumps the Gitrog, he takes 4. So my bluff attack may have been exactly what we needed to get through that. Still kind of me being an idiot for not recognizing that the creatures don't trade, but my opponent doesn't know that. They think I'm a savvy Magic player with amazing Magic skills. I just feel like the longer the game goes, the more likely they are to have an answer to the frog. And the more trouble we're going to have getting out of this. They did also have some air in their deck. Like, imagine they're sitting there with a Vessel of Nascency. You're going to spend 3 mana to look at cards and not be able to cast them? The best thing that can happen for us right now is to see them crack that clue. That means they're just on stone air. I guess the worst thing is they crack the clue and then jam Bound by Moonsilver on the frog. We take that all day. Nothing. You got me. Alright, clue is good. If they were going to do that, I probably would have done it before I attacked. But Angelic Purge. Alright, well that doesn't leave us lethal. It does potentially leave us lethal if we're able to kill this, which means we're certainly going to bounce the Git Frog and draw some cards. See, if they'd done all that beforehand, they'd have another flying creature that could do a thing. And now they don't. We're kind of Air City here. I think that means we get Frog, leave up Scrutiny. And then if they attack with their flyers, we can double block one and pick it off. We clearly don't have an attack, and they clearly do, but they managed to deal with our flying, not anything else. Like, attacking in doesn't really serve much. They just block here, block there. Our Scrutiny doesn't do anything. I don't think they have anything. But we gotta block it. So let's take out the biggest one. It'll give us some clues as well. I like clues. Let's get Scrutinicious. Gosh, another Geist. That is so bad. So bad. Because we had him close to lethal, but I think now we've just got to start jamming. That's really going to be handy. I think now we've got to start jamming the Git Frog in. We can draw another card and get a 3/2 flyer in play, which is not bad. It does leave us unable to cast Murderous Compulsion at instant speed, but that's never happening anyway. Have I played a land yet? I have not, so we can use the blue. Like, let's draw some cards here. It doesn't help much. Let's draw another card. We could draw our counterspell, so I'll leave mana up for that. We could draw Sleep Paralysis, which is really going to be handy here. I think we attack with the Frog, because if they trade these two things for it, we're okay. Because then we can Sleep Paralysis and kill them with flyers. And I think we've got to make them start trading or we're in trouble. They can also take it and go to 1, but that's pretty dangerous. They can also chump it, I suppose, which is fine, but... So we've got lethal flyers. So do they, is the only problem. But if we can paralysis something out of the way, maybe we're doing a thing. We can always get the scab back. Like, that's an option. It would mean discarding our hand, which I don't particularly like, but if it's going to win the game, I'll do it. We'll probably splash for a root out now. I don't know about that. They haven't showed us a bound. They haven't shown us equipments, and I want at least 2 targets for it. We could hit a clue if they're tapped out, I guess. That's pretty sad, Panda, though. We've had to draw through most of our deck to even have a shot at this. And these attacks are just free for them. Like, they know what our blocks are, too. We don't have a choice here. Because the only blocks we have are this one. Now, ideally, they can't save both of their creatures, and we're able to sleep paralysis one of them. Like, a combat trick here, saving this would be pretty bad, but we can sleep paralysis it. Getting all the flyers off the board, though, doesn't seem so bad. And they killed our Illuminator? That's really weird. Are we going to win? I think we just won. If we didn't win, we got really darn close to it. Alright, so we sleep paralysis the wolf. We swing with the team. He has to block with the Graph Mole. I'm not aware of any haste creatures. And even if he has one, we can play Call of the Bloodline and discard Macabre Waltz. Like, this is a must chump, right? Yeah, it is. And we've even got a chump blocker if there's some sort of elemental, hasty, stupid thing. Tricksy things this is. Alright, goat there. Thank you, Get Frog. I feel pretty lucky to have won a matchup against that deck. I'm not entirely certain we can pull it off again. It's probably going to take something similar. Seagraph Scab looks pretty horrible when our opponent has Always Watching. Is there anything better than a Seagraph Scab? We could try to play an Engulf the Shore, but I don't think that's really going to get us done. You can do it! Thank you, Martin. That is my friend Martin Brunet, who is also in the sealed queue, which is pretty exciting. Mysteries could help us grind something out. Like, we could try siding into black-green. But I really like the Corpse Trawler, and I really like the Sleep Paralysis. I don't really like the Murderous Compulsion if he's going to be able to cast Always Watching, but, like, what are we doing for that? The only option is bringing a root out, and I'm not bringing in one card for one card. Like, we just have to accept that sometimes we're going to draw Murderous Compulsion, and it's going to whiff, and it's going to whiff hard. It's a combo, though. We can discard it to Call the Bloodline. Yeah, I think we run this back and are a little sad. But clap your hands if you believe. I can hear you clapping. Keep clapping. We can do this. Right, Dutch? If anyone can do it, I can. I don't know if this hand can do it, though. What is this hand doing? Now, I've gone on the record saying that I think people mulligan too much in limited. This hand has no combos, a bunch of land. It can cast anything it draws, but you're still pretty likely to draw lands. I'm sending that one back. This one is actually worse. God, this one's almost worse too. Like, I can't even envision the draws that make this hand good. I have won on Moles to 4 before. It's not likely. Well, here we are. Okay, I can at least cycle that, but I don't really want to cycle that. I want to draw some interactions. So this is not the droid I'm looking for. Yes, the all-land hand looks pretty good right about now. Like, let's say we rip Gitrog Monster into a forest, and maybe they can't beat it. We probably can't beat a Quilled Wolf for what it's worth. But we gonna try. I don't think we're beating Always Watching either. We could beat them skipping a play and then countering a 4-drop next turn. Alright, we counter a thing, we get our Corpse Trawler on. All of a sudden we're playing Magic. We're locked into countering whatever they play here, even if it's not something particularly good. Like, I'll counter a Vessel. I just want to use the mana. They've used 4 mana, we've used 0. Ideally it's something decent. Like, yeah, that's not bad. I was going to say, Forest is probably our best draw there. But this is not terrible. It's also not particularly good, but we're playing Magic. They're only 2 cards up on us, right? We got to trade for this guy as soon as we can. I'd love to have seen them pump there. Just be like, I'm on air. See, we can even trade for that. That Lando. Well, it sort of helps. It means what we can do is double block this guy, let him order blockers, activate his double strike, and then we activate Death Touch. So we can actually still trade for this, provided he doesn't have a combat trick. Because he can't double strike both of them. So we're still kind of playing Magic. We are trading both of our guys for his one guy. But I think long term we probably have to do that. Means he's not casting anything else this turn, I guess. Or he just takes the trade. That's, again, good for us and terrible for us, but like we can draw a dead weight. We can draw a swamp. I'm actually going to hold that for now in case we draw something we need to discard enable. Because the next land, unless it's green, doesn't actually do much. We could draw a waltz and want to get our trawler back. I'm probably going to trade this dude off too if he attacks again. That is the first time I have seen a Seagraph Scab Angelic purged. Good news is we slam a Gitrog, we are right back in this game. because our opponent is using every resource they can to kill us before we can draw out of this. So all we need is something to be able to block that for a turn, and we're playing Magic. And we've got it. So now, like, Deadweight, a flyer of our own. We could draw an Ernie, we could draw the Scab. We could draw a lot of cards, provided they don't have another flyer, or a pump spell. A pump spell would also be bad. Alright, we got. That was some intense Magic right there. Since these are Swiss, we've still got one more match in us. So I will see you guys in just a moment for the finals.